Discovering your niche faster. Hi, everyone. Here, Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer. Here, welcome to the Mind Engineer community. We're here to share insight, tools to help you start growing your business. Being able to get clients, define, as I'm saying right now, your niche. Sorry, some technical issues. A second, it can happen. Here we go. Perfect. So, discovering your niche. This is one of the things that I hear a lot of coaches, entrepreneurs trying to figure out their niche, right? And not being able to really get it. So they go from course to course, program to program, trying to niche down, right? And a lot of these people that I talk to don't have a lot of experience working with tons of people. Normally they might tell me, Tommy, yeah, I've been working with 5-10 people. I work with 20 people. I work with 15 people, right? And from there, it's very difficult to niche down. We're so accustomed nowadays to do what people are telling us that we don't trust ourselves. And you know what? You know who you want to serve. Not ChatGPT, AI, not another coach. You know that. Nobody else. What fills your heart? What makes you wake up in the morning think that you're going to work with women in their 40s with blah, men blah, women, entrepreneurs, coaches, executives, college students, parents, people wanting to lose weight, whatever you want to help people with, start focusing first on helping people. Start gathering information, insight, experience. Then, and only then, once you have helped a lot of people, 50 people, 30, 80, whatever, you can start niching down. Oh, but tell me my content, my message, make it a bit more general at the beginning. It doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it matters, right? Because this guy over here that helps people build 6 or 7, figure business says that you need to niche down. Okay, it's valid. Don't get me wrong, please. But the thing is this, if you're struggling, we got a problem because when you struggle, your mind goes into shutdown mode. And when it goes into shutdown mode, it doesn't matter if, whoever comes down and tells you that you got to do this or that, even an 8-figure business owner, coach tells you what to do, you're not going to do it. So I know how the mind works. I've been working and studying on the mind for 16 years. I've been an entrepreneur for 27 years. And you can still have a business if you're not niched down. You can still have one. You might not be able to make a lot of money. Oh, yeah, because people are going to pay a lot of money to solve a problem, blah, blah. Perfect. It is true. It is true. But at the beginning, when you're growing, when you're making, I don't know, zero money a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, be more general. Talk more in general. Then you can start tweaking your messaging. But it's better than when you feel comfortable than niching down to what somebody told you how to do and not resonated with it, but trying to convince yourself that you should help blah this niche because they have money or whatever other excuse that you're putting that is going to get you out of business. Out of business. Remember this, according to ChatGPT, Perplexity, around 60 to 70% of coaches out there are barely making any money. 60 to 70%. I'm going to check it now just in case to show you. Yes. What is the percentage of coaches, not coaches, sorry, I'm going to put mindset, business, health, relationship. What is the percentage of my coaches that are barely making any money or no money? I'm going to share the screen in a second. So you can see that I'm asking ChatGPT, that I'm not making these numbers out. I'm going to ask Perplexity too. So let me see. Here we go. There's no exact universal strategy that breaks down the percent of mindset, business, health, or relationship coaches who are barely making money. But here's what we know based on industry data, survey from coaching association platforms, and anecdotal evidence from coaches' communities. Over 80% of new coaches make less than $20,000 a year, and many make less than $1,000 a month. According to ICF, only the top 10 to 20% of coaches consistently make 100 or more a year. Over 50 to 70% of coaches struggle to get consistent clients are not making full-time income. So look at the numbers. Barely making any money. Business coaching, 40 to 60, 60 to 75, 65 to 80. These numbers are big, guys. And I'm not inventing this. Poor marketing and sales skills, relying only on Instagram and Facebook to get clients, not enough, not charging enough or undervaluing themselves, lack of clarity. Look, and I'm going to do the same thing now a second with Perplexity. Give me 1 second. Another AI, yes? Just to check, to compare, that you see that I'm not making this up for my own good, right? Is because I'm tired of listening to people telling me, but Tommy, all these coaches are saying that I'm making millions, blah, blah, you know. So look, what's looking up, we'll see what it says in a second. Finding statistics. It's looking on LinkedIn, look, Reddit, entrepreneurship, it's looking everywhere, right? So to determine the exact percentage, the coaching industry is growing with a significant number of coaches worldwide. As a recent data, there are approximately 109,200 coaches globally, of having grown 62%. Financial struggle. A common theme is that many life coaches face financial challenges. For instance, a Reddit discussion suggests that less than 1% of coaches are able to sustain their lifestyle solely on coaching. Another source indicates that around 8% of coaches from a specific training program earn over 100% annually. 8% earning potential, right? So niche, or no, we're not going to go there, but numbers are pretty high, okay? And it's scary. Yes, and this is not for you to quit and go somewhere else. You can do whatever you want, right? But the truth is, most coaches are struggling. So does it have to do with, the teachings, right? What's going on? The truth is, business coaches are setting coaches up for failure. They're telling you that you need to niche down, right? They got to get a very specific niche. But if you don't know who you want to work with, listen to what I'm going to say now. Are you going to feel as passionate talking and sharing what you do if you're not really sure about the niche that you're serving, if it doesn't really resonate with you, but you're doing it because somebody told you, because they have money or whatever? Are you going to really sound as passionate and attractive to work with you if you don't feel that drive from within? I know the answer. So think about this. If you're really able to niche down right away and find like, yeah, I want to help women in their, I don't know, between 40 and 50 years old with premenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, whatever, right? I want to help men that are divorced, they're in their 40s, 50s. If you feel like it, that's great. But if you're struggling, stop the struggle. Something is telling you that something is not okay. So instead, take a step back, start serving people, and then from there, who does resonate the most to work with, and go from there. And I've been there too. Many years ago, people would tell me, Tommy, you need to go into the, business coaching and start helping people with business. Yes, I started doing that. But was it what really made me feel like, whoa? No, it was helping people with mindset and healing and with entrepreneurship. So yes, I have helped and I help many coaches with your mindset, but it's mainly mindset. There are other things that I add to this, don't get me wrong, but the problem is not niching. The problem is not the market. The problem is not the offer. Most of the times it's mindset. The other day I saw a video of Russell Brunson talking to a guy that he has a huge community, right? He has a membership, he's doing really well, right? But he was trying to tweak some things. And he was talking to Russell Brunson. He tells Russell, you know what, I want to, get more people into the community, but on the other hand, I'm scared that it might get too unpersonal, right? And I like to do those, small groups. So I'm worried about that. So what do you think? What should I do? Because I want to make it bigger. So you know what Russell told him, and it was amazing. Russell told him, you know what? I don't care how we're going to make your community grow, because that's, there's many different techniques to do that. What really worries me is that you're having this struggle with a community, whether to make it bigger, not make it bigger, to keep it like this, not to keep it like that. That is what's going to get in the way of seeing clearly how to grow your business. And it was amazing because it's exactly that. The limiting negative and false beliefs that we might have, and that was not a limiting negative false belief. He was feeling uncomfortable because there was a narrative behind that. So if he didn't address that, no matter what, and Russell said it, like, whatever we're going to do, you're going to have problems implementing because of your mindset. And I loved it. That is the core of the work that I do. I don't work so much on marketing. I don't work so much on niching. I don't work so much on whatever it is, the problem. I work on the deeper problem that is creating those external things that people see. Like, I don't know how to niche down. I don't know my offer, what to put together. Yes, I can guide you to put an offer together. I can guide you with your niche, but at the end, it's you, your stuff. So if somebody's going to tell you how to put your offer together, exactly how it has to be, we got a problem, because you need to resonate with that. It has to come from within. The idea is I help people connect with their creativity, connect with their inner flow to be able to do those things. So again, if you're struggling with niche, stop fighting with that. Stop trying to force yourself to figure out the niche. Start working on recognizing what's blocking you. Maybe it's fear. Oh, fear, if I niche too much, I'm not going to have clients. I'm scared if I'm too broad, I'm not going to have clients. There you go. Work on the fear first. Then you'll see clearer where to go from there. Seriously, fear is going to get in the way of your business over and over again. And you're going to see it as a problem, with a lead problem. You're going to see it as a niche problem. You're going to see it as an offer problem. You're going to see it as a messaging problem. And normally, those are just the symptoms of something deeper. Not all the time, don't get me wrong. Somebody has a really bad offer, it's going to be very difficult to be able to get out there and sell it. But if you want to be able to have a business, make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, is not that difficult. Seriously, it is not that difficult. The problem is that you're following what most people are teaching you. You got to charge high, niche down, have an irresistible offer. And when you're starting, what is an irresistible offer? What is it that you're solving? What is it that is the biggest pain that you would like to work with? Not that what people are going to pay you a lot. Is what do you want? So many times, people leave 9 to 5 to then jump into coaching another company, and they start doing things they don't want to. So at the end, they say that they left 9 to 5 because they felt constrained, and they're doing the same thing now. They're constraining the same again. So you got to be very careful with this. So to be able to niche faster, discovering your niche faster, start serving people. I always say this, forget about charging when you're starting. Start helping people for free, help them out, right? Start resonating with, start checking who you resonate with more, and start going that, maybe you go this way, and they're like, no, I don't want to work with these type of people, blah, because of this. Then you go this way, oh, you know what, now I realize that this doesn't really move, something inside of me. It doesn't really move me. That's why I say, right, that I work with conscious CEOs, conscious entrepreneurs. Because if you're here for the money, there's not much I can do for you. But if you're here to serve people, to connect with yourself, with your creativity, it's going to make it much easier to have a business, have a sustainable business, and start making maybe a living out of your business. It's not that difficult. Because seriously, look at this a second. I'm not saying you got to do this, but a lot of people tell me, oh, I would like to make, $4,000 a month with that, and maybe a little bit of the money that my wife is coming in, or, whatever, I can make it through. Okay? Right? And that is not a bad salary for many countries around the world. Even in the US, depending where you live, maybe that can afford you a nice living, a nice, not a extravagant living. So $4,000, right? If we talk that you're working with 20 people, 25 people, it's $160 per month per person. Oh, no, but Tommy, I want to charge $4,000 per person. Are you being able to do that? Have you closed any person with that amount? Oh, but Tommy, I don't want to work 24 hours a week. Okay. Do whatever you want. Don't follow me anymore. If you don't want to work 25 hours a week, you got it all wrong. Because there's going to be hours where you're going to be prospecting, where you're going to be sending emails, where you're going to be responding to messages, where you're going to be responding to emails, SMS, or whatever, apart from working with people. But look at this. $160 is $40 a session. $40 a session is $160 per month per person. Times 20 is 3,200. Oh, no, Tommy. No, I want to make $2,000 per person. That is ego talking. That is not serving others. And can you make that money? Yes, you can. Don't get me wrong. But if you want to start making $2,000, you're going to fall into that 80% of people that are not making any money. ChatGPT said it, like, between 60 to 70% of coaches out there are not making any money because they want to charge $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. And people are burnt out from that. They're not going to just throw $5,000 at you because you're touching on their pain and you're telling them they're going to solve it. Because before you, they have tried it, or if they didn't try it with paying 5,000, maybe they paid 1,000, maybe they paid 2,000. And in most cases, nothing worked for them. So the market is getting more and more skeptical, and you cannot just go ahead and start charging $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 right away. If you don't have the authority, if you don't have the trust, if you don't have the connection with people, forget about it. But with $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000, let's do this. 30 people, it's $4,800 a month. And if we go look into the internet, what is the average salary in the United States? You're going to be shocked. In Spain, in different countries around the world. Let me check a second. Seriously, ChatGPT, I put in the US. It's going to vary depending from state to state. What is the average salary in the US? Let's see what we get. Right? And yeah, you might say, but Tommy, like Gary Vee was saying, oh, I want to live in New York, right? So $10,000 is not enough. But maybe don't live in New York, move, right? So you got to try to be realistic. Maybe you need to move to the suburbs, right? Oh, no, but I want to live in New York. Okay, then. So yeah, maybe coaching, at least when you're starting, forget about it because it's not going to happen. So it's giving me an error right now. ChatGPT, I don't know why. Let me see what Perplexity says. Let's see. I'm not saying it's enough, depending on this is going to vary where you live. But look, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average annual salary in the US is approximately $68,000. Average monthly, this translates to about, well, it depends because it says different numbers. Median salary. Let's go to the median, average or median, right? We're talking about between $60,000 and $48,000. So let's do $48,000, right? Divided by $48,000 divided by 12, or about $4,000 a month. So imagine if you can make, at least to start with, to start getting traction, to start getting testimonials, start charging 20, 30 bucks per session, 50 bucks per session. Oh no, but I want to do it for less than 80. Now let's do this for a second. Be as honest as you can for yourself. I don't care about this answer. Would you pay a person that you know that they're in your shoes, they're you, that they have worked with 5, 10 people, 20, and they want to charge $80? Would you pay yourself $80 to work with you? Be honest. And when I ask this question and people get honest, when they're starting, they say, no, Tommy, I wouldn't pay me $80, not $100. Okay, how much would you pay? Maybe 20, maybe 30. And you might say, oh, but Tommy, they're undervaluing you themselves. That is the crap you have consumed by marketing or business coaches that want to make you think that you can start charging $3,000, $5,000 with your business. I've been online for now 6 years, and I have spoken to thousands of entrepreneurs around the world, and most of them are barely making it. Barely making it. Seriously, barely making it, making $500, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month at the most, because they're trying to sell high ticket because they want to work little, right, and make a lot of money. That's why I say again, this is not a conscious entrepreneur. You're just running after the money. Conscious entrepreneur is trying to connect more, and it goes back and forth, and it's fine. Trying to connect more with serving others. If you're truly wanting to serve others, follow me, and I'm going to give you the recipe to be able to have a sustainable business. You might not be able to make right away $10,000, but it's possible. I've done it. It is possible. Just helping people, not making big, bold, unrealistic, lying, dream promises. How to, make $10,000 in the next 90 days without funnels, without blah, without even experience. That's a big lie. And a lot of people have fallen for that, and a lot of people have burned through that, and it's not working anymore. That's why people are more skeptical about investing money. So I have put different steps to help me start building that trust, authority, and respect from people through different resources and things that I share to get them to want to work more with me and pay me more money. But it's not about the money, it's about serving people. So I do a lot of free stuff. Even this is free stuff, giving value, telling the truth about this now market that has been so contaminated with liars. These are scammers. The same people, that scam from, different countries, people from the US, from Norton, or whatever company they're pretending to be. Now they're called marketing coaches and business. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people, when they make these big promises of they can help you how to make $10,000, $30,000, $50,000 in the next 90 days, it's a load of crap. Yes, I teach people how to build a 6-figure business, but it takes time and work. It's not going to happen in 90 days, in 3 months, or 6 months. It might be longer. So again, you got to really connect with yourself. What do you want? Who do you want to serve? What resonates the most for you? And if you don't know, that's fine. Get out there, start helping people, and you're going to slowly start being able to build that up and see who you resonate the most. But I truly recommend that you try not to believe what everybody else is telling you. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.